Hey everyone! If you love Vampire Survivors, but you haven't really branched out in the genre or you're looking for some new experiences, check out these 10 Survivor-likes that I think deserve more attention. I won't be looking at any that are already real popular like Death Must Die, Brotato, Deep Rock, or Soulstone Survivors, none of those. Here they are. Number 1. Jotunnslayer Hordes of Hel. Norse themed, leaving early access on September 3rd. The devs have put out a lot of great updates for this one. The graphics are very Diablo-like. Whenever I stream it, people think that's what it is at first. This game is all about making a killer build and completing objectives, which you have to achieve if you want to fight the Jotun or boss of every map. Builds are two-part. You have class skills and upgrades, and then god skills. Each run you can pick up boons from 3 different gods, then your class skills, and each class skill gets a subclass to pick partway through the run. All classes and all gods have meta upgrades you buy with coins after the run, so a lot of customization options. The cool thing is you don't have to unlock everything because you can freely refund or reallocate skill points, so it's really easy to change classes up and not have to grind for gold again, just in case you put points into one that you end up not liking. They've been putting a ton of great updates into this, one of which is Endless Mode, which comes out early next month. I like this one a lot. It's not perfect, but I think it's a lot of fun. Number 2, NIMRODS, Gun Crafting Survivor. This one has a lot of cool things going on. The idea is every run you build a crazy monstrosity of a gun, adding upgrades and parts as you go. First off, you're not alone. You have a drone. Every time you die or finish a run, you have the option of selling or keeping your gun that you crafted. You can give it to your drone. Before your next run, you give it to them, they'll use it, and they'll level up right along with you. This makes a really unique mechanic that you actually have 2 builds, because you can customize the gun you want your drone to have, and then you can have something completely different. Second, it has a persistent map with discoverable areas and structures for unlocking guns, gun parts, new skills, new places to spawn for future runs. Very cool game. Number 3, Entropy Survivors. I don't even know what theme to call this one. It's sort of like a digital world with digital weapons and enemies. Your character is actually 2 in 1. You're a frog driving a mech, and each being able to fire independently, and you take upgrades and weapons separately. The frog has more ranged weapons, while the mech is a little more on the melee focused, but they both have a mix of weapons available. And the weapons can be weird. Stomping shoes, falling crates, school buses and tractors, huge clapping hands, but also some stuff like guns, rockets, lasers, normal stuff. Almost like a big Green Lantern style arsenal, but in a digital world. A really cool mechanic that this one has is the ability to turn up or down the frequency of any weapon. You can spend tokens, for example, to eliminate a weapon you don't like for being an option at all, or make it so your favorite always shows up. All weapons have a bunch of upgrades, and on top of that you can upgrade the mech and frog separately, choosing from a couple different weapon abilities, and there are different mechs that are basically different classes. And lastly, Entropy has online co-op, which I'm seeing a lot more lately with newer Survivor likes. Lots going on here, really fun once you get the hang of it. Number 4, Conquest Dark. This one really came out of nowhere for me. Playing it for the first time felt really weird compared to other ones, but once you get the hang of it, it's a lot of fun. You pick a class out of a couple and then you unlock more later. You unlock perks and abilities that you use during a run, you augment them with runes that you collect and upgrade, and you build up over time, equip weapons and mix and match sets of armor during a run. Playing each class and killing enemies gets you both experience to level during the run, but you also get faction experience for each. Each faction unlocks more upgrades and equipment at intervals of 10 usually. It has a map with points of interest that are different rituals, events, or upgrades that you can buy and unlock. Also unique in this one is that you sort of have 10 lives. There's a number next to your health bar, and this is the same with bosses too. When your bar runs out, you lose a life. So if you keep healing, you stay at that life. Conquest offers a very different experience from other Survivor likes that have a restricted playing area. That's a lot of fun. Also, this is the only one that has a nudity option, because I guess, why not? Number 5, Achilles Survivor. Greek themed, Achilles being the first playable character, but tons more from Greek lore. Recently released his 1.0 version, this one plays a little slower than many Survivor likes, but it can still be very challenging. The big different mechanic here is that you can build structures with stone that you mine and collect on the map. All kinds of different weapon structures, and then support structures like healing, summoning sidekicks, buying extra upgrades. Every map has a few optional objectives tied to achievements, and some end with you fighting a big boss. There's plenty of meta upgrades both for characters and structures, and some cool unlockable characters too. This might be the only Survivor like where you can play a chicken. I really don't know, I'm just guessing. Number 6, Twilight Survivors. This one is anime themed, not usually something that's in my top choices, but this one ended up being really fun for a lot of reasons. First of all, a lot of different characters. Warriors, archers, mages, some kind of hamster in a spiky shell, a shuriken-wielding corgi, a cat wizard. They've built in a lot of unique upgrades and weapons into this one. Each class has a skill tree that's not super grindy in my opinion. Then they all have lore, which are unique objectives that you complete, and when you finish a page, you unlock new abilities and upgrades. It has a card system that lets you add another layer of bonus stats and abilities to anyone, and a ton of side achievements that all give you bonus coins for meta upgrades. I do wish the maps were a little more varied, as they're pretty flat, there's not much going on with them, but they all do have some shops and small events that you can trigger all over it. Fun game. Number 7, Karate Survivor. I love this one. Probably one of the most unique Survivor-likes to come out in a long time. You play a karate master suspiciously close to Jackie Chan, beating down hordes of enemies with karate moves, ladders, brooms, flower pots, guitars, pallets of stuff, and whatever else you can find. Lots here that doesn't go by the standard Survivor-like formula. One character, 5 maps, but it does have multiple difficulties, an endless mode, hyper mode, great music, and it's honestly tons of fun. The biggest gripe I see in the comments about this one is the difficulty in hitting mobs above and below you, but honestly, once you understand how the moves work and how to crowd control, it's really not an issue. Karate Survivor was a really welcome addition to the genre in my opinion, and one of my favorite ones from last year. Number 8, Time Trekker. Another one with some new mechanics. This one is time travel sci-fi themed. You play a soldier type character that travels through time to different parts of the map, attempting to fix the timeline by completing missions. One of the biggest differences in Time Trekker is that failure does not mean the run ends. If you die in a map, you get pulled out by the people controlling where you are in time, and you get to try again in a different area. The upgrade system has you combine light guns to make better versions of them, while more success in maps equals more upgrades for you. I'm definitely not going to say that this one is perfectly balanced or has a huge amount of content, but for someone that plays a ton of these games, it still stuck out in a big way as a new experience. Number 9, Nordic Ashes. Another Norse-themed one, but a little more on the cartoony side. This one handles builds differently. Each character has a unique branching weapon and upgrade tree, some of which you can't take everything, so you gotta make choices. Each run, you pick where in the tree you want to go, and then you can pick up extra weapons that can be used by any of them. Lots of unlockable characters, some with up to 6 starting weapon options, unique bosses for every map, endless mode, daily challenges, seasonal events, leaderboards. This one has a ton of stuff going on with it. I've read the DLC is a little overwhelmingly not good, but the base game is great. This is a very solid addition to any library. And number 10, Call of Sentinels. This is a fantasy-themed one. Unlike many Survivor-likes, this one has a bit of a storyline. There's a good bit of dialogue before and after runs, and unlocks mostly come from as you progress through the story. Call of Sentinels has an objective system that lets you pick what gods you want to take boons from during the run. If you want to take the god that comes up, you take the quest. If not, you ignore it and wait for the next one. Meta upgrades are still available as normal, even without moving the story along, and there's an alternate arena-style mode if you just want to fight and not worry about the story. Each character plays very differently. Each one has multiple weapons that are unlockable, and different elements that they use in their spells to use and master. This is probably the least well-known one on my list, but I think it still deserves attention. It's got some good stuff going on. Hopefully you found at least one on this list that you want to try out. Even if they're not perfect, I've had a lot of fun with all of these. Be sure to check out the links in the description for all the games, and please like and subscribe to see more of my videos. See you next time.